as he's drinking fine wines in Tel Aviv, as Milei is drinking fine wines in Tel Aviv, Argentina is now turning to donkey meat. They're eating donkey meat. They're eating domesticated cats on the streets and house cats and donkey meat now amid the economic crisis imposed by Javier Milei. This is the economic success that all the Trump people, but especially Elon Musk, told us Javier Milei was going to bring. And this is not made up. This is not some random ass stuff, by the way. This is the main news channel. The main news channel. Argentina, from world-class beef capital, because they had some of the best beef in the world and it was widely accessible. Argentina is now broadcasting, barely hiding her own disgust, pitching donkey meat to the people as a cheaper alternative while Malay's economy crumbles around them and people are starving. They're eating cats and they're eating donkey meat while their leader takes a third trip to Israel. Javier Milei is back in Israel. Every single time he goes to Israel, something really big happens right after his visits. It's a common fact that many people have observed. If you want to make something of that, I guess you can. I don't know if I would. I think he's probably, I don't know. I would say he's so insignificant and the U.S. empire would probably just toss him aside at a moment's notice if they wanted to. Maybe he's conveying some messages in person. I don't know. It has been said, though, that Javier Milei, whose real last name is Milikowski, by the way, same last name as Benjamin Netanyahu, Milikowski, they say that they're actually like distant cousins, like third or fourth cousins or something. So that's actually, it is a real possibility that there could be some role that Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, plays in this crazy world that we live in. But yes, he is back in Israel. And yet again, he is crying at a wall in Israel. He's crying at the wall. He's crying at the wall. Now, something very interesting about Javier Milei is that on this trip, he signed the Abraham Accords. So what do they call them? The Isaac Accords. The Abraham Accords are for the Zionist Gulf states, agreements of recognition and cooperation, trade, whatever, agreements with Israel. The Isaac Accords are for Latin America. So he signed on to the Isaac Accords officially in person. They've already been a member. He also announced direct flights to Israel. This is the third time that Argentina's Milei has visited Israel. And he had his meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu. He's crying. It looks like he's crying. He was crying at the Wailing Wall. He's crying here. This absolute clown doesn't own a comb. He's got what are these sneakers that he's wearing? Bro's the president of Argentina on a state visit. I mean, let's be real here. And he's got on these like Zelensky sneakers. These. You see what I'm talking about? Also, the suit jacket, the color of the suit jacket. I hate to be a stickler about this stuff, but it is pretty crazy. Like the suit jacket color does not match the color of his pants. It's like the pants are clearly darker, you can see, and he's got on these crazy black sneakers. Anyways, just many very odd things with this picture that we are seeing play out right now. But anyways, Milei loves to travel. He loves to travel to Israel, as I was saying. Milei has been out of the country 1 out of every 7 days since he took office. He has already made 35 trips abroad and spent 111 days away and just 822 days in office. He squandered $14 million in taxes to tour more than Marley. I don't know what more than Marley is, but that's a translation error maybe. Anyways, But some of you may be saying, well, Jackson, okay, he sold out to Netanyahu. He sold out Argentina, this brilliant country, this, very historic land, historic people. He sold out his country, his people to Netanyahu, to Israel. This is the land of Che Guevara. Che Guevara comes from Argentina. This is the land of I'm not a football guy. Maradona. I should know how to pronounce his last name. This is their land. But now who do we have representing Argentina? We have Zionist Milei. We have Zionist Messi, the football player Messi. Zionist Messi, who also loves Netanyahu. Not as much as Milei, though. Don't get it twisted, right? Well, surely his economy must be doing well, right? Because everyone, when he got elected, and Milei was going around with the chainsaw and the sword, and he was wearing that Superman outfit, the libertarian ANCAP Superman outfit. I don't know what was going on there, but Elon Musk was like, he's going to be the hero that shows that ANCAP, libertarianism, all this stuff, Ayn Rand, it works. This is proof, right? All these MAGA influencers, all these stupid libertarians, Elon Musk. I remember right before he got elected, I was on this libertarian show. I was like debating some people, and they kept, these were like the good libertarians. These are the Ron Paul people. And they were like, oh, well, Javier Milei is so base. I'm like, no, he's not. We had a whole debate about how I said Javier Milei is going to suck. These were my first tweets going back to 2023 about Milei. I said, he sucks. He's pro-Israel. He's pro-Ukraine. He hates China. He wants Argentina to leave BRICS, which they did. He's anti-Iran, Venezuela, China, Russia, so on and so forth. He's, he's a pawn of the deep state. And it was literally 100 times worse than I could have ever imagined. Under Milei's leadership in Argentina, poverty has reached a 20-year high, over 50%. GDP shrank 5.3% in 2024. 18,000 businesses closed down by July 2025, mostly small businesses. Unemployment rose to 8%. He increased Argentina's debt to the International Monetary Fund by $34 billion. And he just did it again yesterday. He increased it more. We'll talk about that. 35% of the country can't afford food, so they have to wait in these long-ass lines. Even in moderate income cities, they're waiting in these long lines for food rations. The peso has fallen to a record low since 2009. The peso collapsed 99% over the past 10 years, going back to the past 10 years. So can't say that's all his fault, but, a lot of it is his fault. Privatize the energy sector. Major energy blackouts have struck the capital on a regular basis. He sent the gold reserves of Argentina to British banks on British Airway jets. So he sent it to London. Why? I don't know. It's because he's a pawn. He's a puppy. He sent their gold on British Airway jets abroad. He received a $40 billion Trump bailout. I should say Scott Bessent bailout, because Scott Bessent and many of his friends benefit a lot by Argentina's success. But as you all know, we've all seen this happen time and time again. Indebting yourself to the U.S., the IMF, the World Bank, sure, it may solve some temporary problems that you've created, a short-term injection, but in the long run, it's the death of your country. You're signing off on the death of your country, okay? But he loves Netanyahu, right? So everything's good. Despite claims of capitalist superiority, Milei's Argentina has taken on massive IMF loans totaling 36% debt increase since 2025. Argentina has reached a new IMF deal, opening door to $1 billion in fresh funds. That was reported yesterday. And in Argentina right now, what's going on? In Argentina, as Milei is spending all these millions in taxpayer dollars to go to Israel for the third time, the people have no food. And people are resorting to eating neighborhood pets, mostly domestic cats, in the country because so many people don't have food. You've got all these children going starving. And keep in mind, Trump said how bad the situation was in Venezuela. That's why he had to go kidnap Maduro. In January of this year, Venezuela had a 1.7% inflation rate. Argentina had a 20.6% inflation rate. 1.5 million children in Argentina lack food and are skipping the 3 meals a day. They're having like 2 meals a day or 1 meal a day. That's from UNICEF. Homelessness is exploding in Buenos Aires. Official data reveals that in the last 2 years, the homeless population has grown by 57% in the Argentine capital. But you know, Milei's not there to solve any of that. He's there to go fly to Israel on the few dimes that Argentinian workers can muster for taxes. And he's going to go fly to Tel Aviv and have, you know, luxury, questionable parties with Netanyahu, I'm sure. And this is the straw that broke the donkey's back, okay? This is what went really viral over the weekend. Argentina, yes, as he's drinking fine wines in Tel Aviv, as Milei is drinking fine wines in Tel Aviv, Argentina is now turning to donkey meat. They're eating donkey meat. They're eating domesticated cats on the streets and house cats and donkey meat now amid the economic crisis imposed by Javier Milei. This is the economic success that all the Trump people, but especially Elon Musk, told us Javier Milei was going to bring. And this is not made up. This is not some random ass stuff, by the way. This is the main news channel. The main news channel. Argentina, from world-class beef capital, because they had some of the best beef in the world and it was widely accessible. Argentina is now broadcasting, barely hiding her own disgust, pitching donkey meat to the people as a cheaper alternative while Milei's economy crumbles around them and people are starving. They're eating cats and they're eating donkey meat while their leader takes a third trip to Israel. But Maduro was the bad guy, right? Maduro was the one that had a real crisis. Such a crisis, they had to go in and kidnap him, right? Oh, so bad in Venezuela. Yeah, I've been to Venezuela twice. Never eaten donkey meat. I had a ton of amazing cuisine and food and, you know, got to see some amazing things. I went to also the poor parts. I went to like really poor parts of Caracas outside, you know, an hour outside the city. And no one was eating cats. No one was eating donkey meat. I can tell you that. That's for sure. Anyways, what a terrible thing to happen to such a great people in a beautiful country. Get that guy out of there as soon as possible. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.